You mentioned the next version of Llama. What can you say about the next version of Llama? What can you say about like what were you working on in terms of release, in terms of the vision for that?
Well, a lot of what we're doing is taking the first version, which was primarily, this research version, and trying to now build a version that has all of the latest state-of-the-art safety precautions built in, and we're using some more data to train it from across our services, but a lot of the work that we're doing internally is really just focused on making sure that this is as aligned and responsible as possible. And we're building a lot of our own, we're talking about kind of the open source infrastructure, but the main thing that we focus on building here, a lot of product experiences to help people connect and express themselves. So we're gonna, I've talked about a bunch of this stuff, but then you'll have an assistant that you can talk to in WhatsApp. I think in the future every creator will have kind of an AI agent that can kind of act on their behalf, that their fans can talk to. I want to get to the point where every small business basically has an AI agent that people can talk to for to do commerce and customer support and things like that. So there are going to be all these different things, and Llama, or the language model underlying this, is basically going to be the engine that powers that. The reason to open source it is that, as we did with the first version, is that it basically it unlocks a lot of innovation in the ecosystem. Will make our products better as well, and also gives us a lot of valuable feedback on security and safety, which is important for making this good. But yeah, I mean, the work that we're doing to advance the infrastructure, it's basically at this point taking it beyond a research project into something which is ready to be kind of core infrastructure, not only for our own products, but hopefully for a lot of other things out there too.
Do you think the Llama, or the language model underlying that version 2, will be open sourced? Do you have internal debate around that, the pros and cons and so on?
We were talking about the debates that we have internally, and I think the question is how to do it, right? I mean, I think we did the research license for V1, and I think the big thing that we're thinking about is basically like what's the right way.
So there was a leak that happened. I don't know if you can comment on it for V1.
We released it as a research project for researchers to be able to use, but in doing so, we put it out there. So we were very clear that anyone who uses the code and the weights doesn't have a commercial license to put into products, and we've generally seen people respect that, right? It's like you don't have any reputable companies that are basically trying to put this into their commercial products, but by sharing it with so many researchers, it did leave the building.
But what have you learned from that process that you might be able to apply to V2 about how to release it safely, effectively, if you release it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think a lot of the feedback, like I said, is just around different things around how do you fine-tune models to make them more aligned and safer. And you see all the different data recipes that you mentioned, a lot of different projects that are based on this. I mean, there's one at Berkeley, there's it's just like all over, and people have tried a lot of different things, and we've tried a bunch of stuff internally. So kind of we're making progress here, but also we're able to learn from some of the best ideas in the community, and I think we want to just continue pushing that forward. But I don't have any news to announce on this, if that's what you're asking. Right. I mean, this is a thing that we're still kind of actively working through the right way to move forward here.
The details of the secret sauce are still being developed.